Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually talk about my listings so that you can actually see some design, show you around the pictures and things like that. So you can understand what I talk about aesthetic appeal and design and so on and so forth. So this right here, this originally was a yellow house that I had a vision to turn it into a cabin. So I wanted to do like a gunite blue, kind of metallic blue, purplish finish to kind of make it pop. I always talk about the purple cow, making your stuff different so it stands out and about in a crowd. Well, this property here specifically is just one of them. All right, so this is we decided to put the horizontal railing on this property to specifically show a different feel from most cabins. So not only do you have that purple metallic purple feel, you have the horizontal railings, and then you'll see that we've actually gone in and decorated this house in bear and just bear outfit. This picture right here shows that we have bear everywhere, bear all in the cabin. We got stained wood, cabinish kind of feel. But you see, I have a bear theme throughout. This is called the Lazy Bear Cabin, and the bear theme is throughout the whole property, all over the place. And we have that kind of like cabiny feel throughout that people want, but on top of that, we got a theme. All of our homes have a theme. This one is the Lazy Bear Cabin, and we name all of our properties as well. So the Lazy Bear Cabin. So when you come here, you're going to feel bears, and you're going to feel like you're a part of this cabinish feel with bears everywhere, because in North Georgia you do have bears. We stained some wood. I mean, we did different things with these properties. As you'll see in our listing, you'll see that we have different tags here or different descriptions that just kind of show the space. It navigates you around the space, living room with fireplace, guest book on the coffee table. And you can see in the pictures how the flow of the home feels. We actually add every single picture we can to give the best description of the property as possible, because we want people to really see how this property looks, and they can kind of navigate around it. Since right now, as far as I know, you don't have video capability in Airbnb. I think they should open that up and allow us to add a virtual walkthrough or tour. But here's the thing. When you are working on a property for short-term rental, you want to make sure that you have a name. I think that have a name for the property. Lazy Bear Cabin, or if you'll see over here, Birdsong Cottage, or Hot East Atlanta Bungalow, or Luxury and Location in Bluffton. Every one of these homes have a name. This is a Lazy Bear Cabin. This is the Birdsong Cottage. I forgot what we named the Atlanta house. We have the Nest here. Sold my Savannah house. We're adding in a couple more properties right now as we speak. We're going to have a total of 8 short-term rentals here in a couple of weeks in here. But you'll see that whatever the name is, the property is kind of designed around that concept. So the Nest over here in Bluffton, it's a condo above a wine bar. So it feels like you're in a bird's nest almost. Not really in a bird's nest, but it feels like you're up high and you're kind of just tucked away. And that's kind of why I came up with the name, The Nest. I want to make people feel like they're up high, and they can, when you walk out the front or the back door above the patio, you can actually see everything going around you. And that's a really cool concept that we came up with, calling it The Nest, and we decorated it. We got the name in there and so on and so forth. Same thing with the cabin here. You go in, you'll see the Lazy Bear Cabin on the outside. I believe we do have, right here, we do have something that says "Welcome to Lazy Bear Cabin" or something like that. And I'll show you in later pictures. But as we navigate through the property, you'll see that we staged it to the feel of the home. So this one's got more of a rustic cabinish feel. The whole house flows. I like conformity in my houses. Even in my flip houses, I like conformity in my flip houses. I don't want anybody to walk through a home and one room is completely different from the other, because it really hurts the flow. So every one of my homes will actually go through conforming one room after another, and they'll kind of feel the same. I know some people like different themes and elements and stuff in different rooms. No, we're not doing that in short-term rentals. Heck, I'm not even doing that in my own primary residence. Never. They're all going to flow, and they're going to look similar in design and concept in every single room. Like I said, even in my own primary residence. Looking at the back of the property, you see we want to give people experiences. So now you have 2 rocking chairs and you're overlooking the woods. I don't really have a mountain view, even though it's on a mountain. I've never opened up that view and did a view cutting, but I can do it one day because the mountain kind of goes downhill a little bit and then up. But it's just nothing that's really been important to me for my own personal use. And I build these homes for my own personal use, and then I rent them out to others. So it didn't bother me. And, this view right here was just enough. It's a woodsy downward valley view. Of course, I worded it just like that. All right. Like I said, we want to have experiences. So you got your rocking chairs, you can hang out. If you look through the house, you've got the lazy bear. You got lazy bears all over the place. And in design, you got the house feeling like it does all the way throughout every room. We got a little reading nook. I love that. Bear design again. As you flow in the downstairs, this is a game room, so we did add a little touch of color. Like I said, I like conformity, so you'll see that the house feels different, even though this is a finished basement. We do have a little touch of color just to kind of make it pop and present itself. But there you go. You see that the house just kind of flows in similarity. Got a game room. Like I said, I like experiences. I want people to be able to hang out and have fun. So we like foosball, so we put a foosball table in there. So people are playing foosball. You walk out the back deck to these sliding doors, and then you have a table and chairs. You can hang out, and then you have a hot tub right beside it, so on and so forth. It's great. From there, you have a fire pit. Get a bunch of friends out there, go hang out, et cetera, et cetera. Get the Lazy Bear. We always put a name on our houses. So you have the Lazy Bear Chalet. I thought it was cabin. My apologies. The chalet. I guess we call it the cabin, but chalet. Okay, whatever. Anyways, swings, more rocking chairs. We got the bear. So this is what I call thoughtful design. We have thoughtful design in the property as well as amazing decor. And it's presented well. When you stay in this home, it's just a beautiful property. And then on top of that, in our listings, we add different scenes from the city. So these are pictures of downtown LJ so that people can know what to expect when they walk out there or drive over there. It's like 3 miles up the road. Drive over here and they can experience. And by virtually for no reason at all, I've got a picture of a washer and dryer. You don't have to add it, but we want people to really realize that there is a washer and dryer there, because people will ask you, do you have a washer and dryer, if they don't see a picture. And of course that's tucked away way back in the back so that nobody else sees that ugly picture unless they scroll through all of the rest. But I didn't plan this at all to present it to you. I just figured I would go with the flow. So sorry this took so long in the beginning, but let's move on to the Birdsong Cottage over in Jasper. We named this property the Birdsong Cottage because it's a cottage. It's not a cabin. It's a beautiful little house here that we made kind of new age feeling, cottage feeling, and we took a really small space of 900 square feet and made it the nicest we could. We have a lot of aesthetic appeal. So right here, the reason why we called this property the Birdsong Cottage is because the house is small. Hence, we were looking for a name, a description of something that describes a small space, and cottage was it. And then if you look out, we've got a great mountain view to the right of our property, not directly behind it, but to the right. And we're thinking, man, there's a lot of birds out there. So we're paying attention to our areas while we're rehabbing the properties and we're staying in them. We're paying attention to what our surroundings is giving us, and it's helping us come up with the concepts of the name and so on. So we came up with the concept of the bird song cottage because birds were flying all over and it was beautiful. And we just kind of went through Talking Rock, Jasper, and just decided, man, we'll get the cottage. Birds are everywhere. Call it the Bird Song Cottage. This property specifically has, and there again, we like entertaining people. We like having thoughtful spaces and design. And you'll see that in this house, it flows really well. Room to room is conforming, kind of like I was talking about in the Lazy Bear cabin. But we also have things for you to do. You want to create experiences. So in this one, we do have a hot tub. We do have a fire pit, which I'll show you in another picture again. We've got the rocking chair front porch, which we have rocking chairs and a swing on. Walk through here. You've got the thoughtful concept, the design. We've got a space heater. Well, we took out the fireplace because it was old. This house is from the 1940s, people. So look, this property was old. We just didn't want people using the fireplace. So we basically dug it out, capped it off, whatever we did with it. And, I'll have to ask my contractors. I really have no idea, to be honest with you. But we put a space heater in that looks like a fireplace. And it has neon lights. It changes colors. It also produces heat. So it gives you that warm, cozy feeling in there like you would want anyways with a fireplace. We always, in every house, we always have a little area where you can go in and sign in a guest book. And we're always providing a gift basket with waters, or I used to offer wine in my Savannah house before we had to reduce prices because of COVID. Higher end properties, I would probably add a bottle of wine. Cheaper home like this, where we're getting $145 a night, not going to offer a bottle of wine because you're just not getting enough. But we have bottles of waters, a couple snacks, and things like that. Snacks being like a granola bar, popcorn, etc. And that's it. So you're walking through this property specifically. It's got a different design than the cabin. It's a completely almost farmy kind of feel in the cottage. So we try to give it that rustic, cottagey, farmy look. And as you see going through here, the house looks completely the same all the way throughout. And of course, there you have the handy dandy name of the home right there, the Bird Song Cottage. Every single house we have a name of the home in the home or on the home in the exterior. Of course, we like touch, like I said, we like having a pop of color from time to time. So you're not looking at just bland grays and whatever. You want to see some color in the house. All right. So going out to the back of the property, the back deck, got a table, got some chairs. And that's it. There was a swing set already on the property. And if I was flipping it, I would probably demoed that out. But we decided to leave it because it was amazing. This was somewhere where somebody was renting before, and the owner just got old and didn't want the house anymore. So we bought it, and there was a swing there that was actually looking at this view here. And we went ahead and left all that because it was great. It was perfect to add experiences for our Airbnb. So hope you're seeing some kind of some similarities from one property to the next. You're seeing that we have things for them to do, added amenities, and then on top of that, we have, which we don't really have area photos in here yet, because this area right here we just haven't spent enough time in there. But I will be adding, this was launched about a month ago, and it's already booked up for the next 3 months. But this area right here, I'm going to go in and get pictures of downtown Jasper. And then in Talking Rock, there's a train station out there. We're actually going to also take pictures of it because they're turning it into a tavern and a brewery within like a quarter-mile walking distance from this property. So that's that. Let's go forget my Atlanta one. I don't feel like it's as pretty, to be honest with you. I'll show it to you guys in a minute. But this is the Nest. We call this property the Nest. So when we were remodeling it, I was thinking Nest. We're up high. I'm paying attention to what's going on the property, or what do I feel? So I'm literally trying to open up my senses when I'm going to see a property and I'm staying in it and the way I want to design it. And I start seeing that things just come together. When you're thinking about things, you're slowing down to think about things just start attracting to you and start helping you direct the property itself. So, of course, you see what's going on here. Downtown Bluffton is beautiful. They actually call it Old Town Bluffton. I put in some prefab barnwood walls on the ceilings, and that property made it really pop. And we're starting to get that wood. This is before we call it a nest. We're starting to get that wood feeling flow through it. And I actually added that on the bar itself, the breakfast bar. And I realized that, man, it's just starting to feel kind of really like wood tone. And, we're up high. I'm starting to feel like I'm in a bird's nest. I was looking out on the patio up top where I can get a bird's eye view. So there again, I'm starting to put all the emotions and the way that the property flowed together in my own brain. And I would present that to my wife. My wife said, yeah, I feel that. The nest. We came up with the nest because we're up high. We have wood everywhere. It feels like it all blends together. We see the bird eye view, which I'll show you in a minute. It's kind of like one of these patios, and you can see up high. You can see the whole downtown area. We felt like we were in a bird's nest, and we're always looking for that kind of cute name and such so that we can name the property. So, by the way, I'm not 100% fan of my photographer I hired over here, and I'll probably get brand new pictures sooner or later when I get out there again. But we have a coffee bar here. We're actually starting to add coffee bars in every single house now if there is enough room. So we like to have that set up. We're doing that in my Carrollton, Georgia Airbnb. That's going to be launched later this weekend. Let's see. I have shiplap I ran in the bathroom walls. We're kind of on the coastal side of town. Even though I made it a bird's nest, we're on the coastal side of town. And Bluffton, you're right next door to Hilton Head, South Carolina. So I wanted to leave a little bit of a coastal design as well. So I put shiplap in the bathroom walls. And then we got the nautical colors because you are on the coastal side. Of course, this is something I do in all my homes. I put TVs in the bedrooms, hanging off the wall so that you don't see wires hanging down. We actually have an electrician come in, and they pigtail the wire and run it up here and create a plug-in for me and don't bust up the sheetrock. So now I can just plug in right behind my TV after we hang it. Everything's good. All right, moving on. We put some really nice, I forgot what kind of floors we put in. Walnut floors. So I was thinking about, I wanted a woodsy feel in this home for the bird's nest after I started filling that. So, like I told you before, like I came up with that design through the process and started putting one thing together. And then we started getting that name after this pulled together. But we came up with a walnut because it's a harder wood. You use pine or something like that. It's a soft wood and it dings up. And of course, we have tenants / guests, whatever you want to call them, staying in the property. They're going to beat up your floors. So I put walnut in because they don't get beat up easily. And I put a couple of different 2-3 coats of poly on it too, so that I keep people from scratching it. And came out great. All right. Yep. You see, you got an anchor there on the wall, a little coastal feel. We built this little entryway with coat racks so that under here there's some shoe storage so that people can just store their coats and their shoes and things like that. They got a little bench to sit on if they need to put their shoes on. Even though these are darker colors, we put a combination of that coastal feel with the nest. So we have darker colors when coastal feel is more of a blues and salmons and yellows. We just went with our own thing. I'm always doing that purple cow thing. I'm always trying to make something look different from everybody else's so that mine can stand out in front of the crowd and make me more money if possible. So this property essentially did just that. We stayed booked up all the time. I haven't even been to this property in a while, and I think I'm going next, or maybe 2 weeks from now. So I'll get to see it again. Outside, here's that bird's eye view. You're up high. That's why I call it the nest. And there again, you got coastal side of South Carolina right here, boutique shops with different cool colors, et cetera, et cetera. There's the outdoor of my building. Boom. That's my unit, and it is a tall property. You're right there looking at everything. So that's why I named it the nest. All right. Going into the Atlanta house, the hot East Atlanta bungalow and little 5 points, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if we ever named this property, to be quite honest with you. I'm doing so much I can't remember. This was an old bungalow. We made it pretty. And mile and a half up the road, you have little 5 points. And I'm thinking I was going to flip this property originally. And I realized where my property is and that Atlanta's growing. And this might be a better long-term hold, utilizing it as a short-term rental. So as we were rehabbing the home, I originally intended for this to be a flip. I staged it, And then I was looking at the area and paying attention. I'm like, you know what? This will make a great short-term rental because you're so close to the bars. It's a quick drive or get an Uber trip. And I didn't really design this to be a short-term rental at first. So we went through this property, started pulling things together. And, I think we call this just, I don't even know what, I'll have to ask my wife. Maybe we didn't name this property because it was a flip originally and we just converted it to a short-term rental. Now I need to go name it. Right now is the Hot East Atlanta Bungalow. I think that's kind of what we call it, and that's kind of what we put in. But if you walk through the door, you'll see that we added a lot of stuff afterwards when we went from that conversion from flip to short-term rental. So we added more pop, color. This is Atlanta, multicultural / diversity here. So we wanted to cater to everybody, not just somebody going to the beach or not just somebody going to a cabin, but people can come to Atlanta for varying reasons. Anyways, so we went in and just thought, what is Atlanta when we're staging it? Well, Atlanta is that multi-diversity. It's people from all walks, and so far so good. People are just generally loving each other. And I'm like, well, let's just throw a ton of pop of color, and that is Atlanta to me. It's multi-diversity, and people are really accepting of one another. And that's kind of what I've felt here. Like, we're in a bungalow, a mile and a half from Little Five Points. If you don't know this area, it's bars and, great foods, and you're in East Atlanta, and it's just a trending area. And this is just right up the road. So I'm like, okay, I can brand around this. So I went down in the area, Little Five Points. Everybody knows if you're from this area, Little Five Points is a really cool, colorful area that, you got your hippies, you got your goth people, you got your regular folks, you got young, old, this, that, people walking down smoking weed. It doesn't matter. It's Atlanta. So that's what this house is to me. So you run through the pictures. It's color, color, color. Pops of color, color, color. We got some different themes here. Atlanta is in the south, so we got barn doors. There's some shiplap walls in to make it more farmy. And then we also have elegant side with tile showers and glass doors. There again, you got color. Got a big fenced-in backyard. I'm going to eventually add a fire pit now that we went from flip to short-term rental. Eventually, we're going to have a fire pit back here. But that's what it's going to be. Right now, it's just a transient house for people. They're coming in, staying in it, looking for homes to live in because everybody's moving to Atlanta, and or they're partying in Atlanta on a one-night stay. We're getting great money off this, and the values are going up over and over again, just appreciating right now. And really love this property specifically because it's really cool. Fun fact, this is not a fun fact. Actually, somebody was disgusting last week and took their menstrual cycle pad and decided to, I guess they had a small party in there. They decided to just throw it against the wall, take it off, throw it on the wall, left blood on my wall. That's disgusting, right? People do tend to party from time to time. In your short-term rental, you can't, there's different ways. I can talk in another video how to screen guests in your messaging. But these people didn't scream that I needed to screen them. Anyways, so that's that. So let's talk about the things that was in the first 3 listings to this listing. Conformity. The house flows from room to room. So here's the point. So why I want to show you these pictures was when you're designing a short-term rental, you want to have conformity, in my opinion. Boom, boom, boom. Everything is looking the same. One room after another. The color schemes are the same. Check, check, check. There you go, right? And it was like that on all my other listings. And we're a 5-star super host, and all these homes stay steadily booked. So obviously I'm doing something right. So that's one thing. And it's a thoughtful design. Everything looks great. We got the granite. We got nice cabinetry, stainless steel appliances, nice backsplashes, tile flooring, shiplap. We refinished the hardwood floors, which if I had known that this was going to be an Airbnb, I probably would have put tile in or LVP, but it is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, got the barnwood doors. We got the nice tile showers, backsplash. The home looks, I don't know, I'm coming up with words, feng shui. Got the yellow door. Look, it pops. So it looks good. So that's one thing that we're doing here. Conformity and good looking appeal, great design. And then the decor always looks great, right? It's not just about designing the home, it's about staging and decor. Conformity, go back to that conformity. One room after another needs to flow together. And when you're staging, add a touch of pop of color from time to time, but make the home feel like the area and the name or design that you're starting to feel in your emotions and your expression. This is a creative thing. It's like you're an artist in these houses. That's how I view it. So you're running with this and you're just expressing yourself and you're building a place that you want to stay in. So let's go back to the Birdsong Cottage. When you're having spaces specifically like this that's kind of cabiny and woodsy and mountainy, of course, you'll do yourself a disservice if you didn't have a hot tub. Fire pits are a must. I mean, heck, I think in all houses, you need to have a fire pit if you got some sort of a yard. People like communalizing together. I guess I made up another word. They like community, right? So that's something that I would always recommend. And then make the best design and staging that you can. Give experiences with fire pits and hot tubs and things to do. You saw my cabin has, or the chalet has foosball and different things like that. In that house, I've got all kinds of stuff. I got a game closet in there with tons of games. Best thing about having kids is I don't throw anything away anymore. I just take them to other houses. So they're old DVDs and Blu-rays. We'll take them to a house instead of throwing them away or selling them. We'll just stick them in a room with a Blu-ray player, and all the movies that they used to watch, they go to the home. Stuff that we don't use in houses anymore, from where we previously moved from personally, like decor and stuff like that, I don't throw it away or give it away anymore, or sell it. I use it in other houses. So we've got in our home here where I'm at, we've got a ton of Airbnb stuff that we use over and over again, or we'll put it in this closet from other houses or whatever. When we're staging a home for flip or whatever, we'll just put it in this closet and we'll pull from it, put it in another home and leave it there permanently. So stuff like that, that works really well. It's just a creative thing, guys. You know, you might say you're not creative, you can't do this. The fact is, it's all about conformity, having a little bit of splash, understanding what you want in a home when you're vacationing in, and then really understanding that you have to give people an experience. And then that purple cow mentality. You want the best you can make this property look, but you also want it to look different, and you want to have professional photography. You want stuff to look good and smell good. There's so much to this. I can't put it all in one video here. And of course, I had the video starting off with me trying to figure out how to make everything work, but you'll start to see as I'm doing the short-term rental videos, I'm going to start training you guys up on how to present your home, and then how to do certain things and how to screen guests and things like that, so that you can become a super host one day and get that 5-star status. So that's kind of the stuff that you want to do. If you haven't bought my short-term vacation rental course, then you really should. I've got a lot of success stories from people who have bought it. It's at reisociety.edu.com. Look, I guess that's it. See you guys next time, and I just greatly appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Talk to you later. If you have an opinion, go ahead and comment below. I actually read all the comments and respond to them. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want more REI Society information.